Welcome everyone to the Lofi Poli Sci podcast. I'm your host, Michael Pickering. That's right, Lo-Fi as in low fidelity, low quality, in your face, messy as can be global news show. Here we're going to talk about that famous question, what's going on in the world today? Straight to it, the news, fresh off the press. Source, AP News International. Regional governor in Russia arrested on murder charges. The governor is being arrested and charged with the murder of several business people in his region from 2004 to 2005. It should also be noted, though, that the governor is part of the Liberal Democratic Party, which is not the president's party, which would be United Russia. Furthermore, Putin himself gets to review the case and decide if he's going to remove the governor from office, which the Russian president has the power to do. It seems this is yet another example of the president using any means necessary to take out his political opponents. We'll keep you apprised of the situation as it develops, Lo-Fi Nation. Next up, source, AP News International. Ethiopia's week of unrest sees 229 dead, 3,500 arrested. Last Monday, a famous Ethiopian singer and anti-government activist was shot and killed. The unrest followed, which accounts for the headline. The internet was shut off in the country, which is always a worrying sign to the rest of the world. So much is unclear about this situation, but it does appear that the government is responding with a lot of force on the public. Until the country plugs back into the web, and journalists and civilians inside the country are able to upload what's really going on in the country today, we'll sadly have to wait and see. Keep your eyes open and ears to the ground, listeners, and let all of us know if you hear something first. Now, moving forward, because we never move on from anything, source, Reuters World News. Angering China, Australia suspends extradition treaty with Hong Kong, extends visa. This is a major blow to China, peeps. Australia and China are major competitors in the region for economic influence, and Hong Kong has been regarded as the Wall Street of the East for a very long time. These measures suspend Australia's obligation to send people charged with a crime in Hong Kong back to Hong Kong. Additionally, this gives any Hong Kong student, graduate student, or worker a 5-year extension on their visas to stay in the country, and after that period, they can also apply for residency in Australia. China will most definitely respond to this. Look for it this week. It likely won't take long. Our next story comes from Reuters World News. India raises concern with U.S. over new rules for foreign students. This new U.S. policy that India is concerned over states that any foreign student in university, that their classes get switched to all online formats, will have to leave the country and return to their place of origins. In addition to India, many other countries and schools with large foreign exchange programs are all concerned. Because so many students come to the U.S. for university, you're always talking about thousands upon thousands of people having to leave the country right away. We'll be keeping an eye on this to see how the U.S. responds to India and universities like Harvard and MIT suing the government over this policy. And a last piece of news from the AP International. Seoul mayor missing, his phone turned off, search underway. This is another story we know very little about. The mayor of the capital of South Korea sent his daughter a voice message that she described as a last will, and then he disappears into the wooded area and turned off his phone. Recently, sexual harassment allegations have been made against the mayor. However, since we don't know anything else about what's going on, and the police can't comment on open investigations, we should not assume that one thing is connected to the other. But the disappearance of a mayor of a country's capital, there's definitely some mystery surrounding what's going on in South Korea today, people. And that's a brief snapshot of what's going on in the world today. Always remember that Lo-Fi Poli Sci is more than just me. It's the we that we be. Write in with questions or comments to lofipolisci@planetmail.com. Thanks for listening. Stay safe. Wash those hands. And I'll see you on the next episode of the Lo-Fi Poli Sci podcast. Pickering, signing off.